Hello everybody, welcome back to a new One Punch Man the Strongest video. Today, we're going to be doing everything but buff gears. So, let's get right into it. So, first thing you need to know about buff gears is that you start getting them in the Nightmare difficulty of Conqueror's Challenge, which has 15 stages and can give you any of the 3 types. Now, this does have Sky King and Subterranean King, however, these stay the same regardless, and you get progressively higher drop qualities as time goes on. You can also get buff gears from the Epic difficulty and the Hell mode. So let's get into how you use them. Alright, buff gears can be found in the gear section of your character page, found at the bottom here. Now, I want to get back to the character. Now, these are orange buff gears, and we will do those first, and then we will get onto the red ones after that. Now, for the faction buff gears, which come in monster and hero, let me just show you that. If we go to a hero character, that's the wrong one. There we go. Hero and villain, also known as monster. These ones can come with speed percentage, HP percentage, attack percentage as your transform effect, which you can get with these thingies and these things that you should hopefully not run out of. You can also get a flat attack, which is just base attack increases, defense, HP, you can get defense percentage, you can get damage reduction. So those are the stats you can generally get on these, as well as the ability to reset these stats and ascend the stat on the main stat on here, which would be this one. So you can increase this. The orange ones go up by 5%, purple go up by 4, blue go up by 3, green ones go up by 2, I believe, although I don't usually have them, so I can't really verify that at the moment, but that is generally how it goes, and there is no gray ones. So next up is the what is these level, I guess. So these can come with damage rate, damage free, extra damage rate, extra damage resistance, damage reduction, flat attack, flat HP, flat defense. What else can these come with? You can get also on a good couple of these, you can get augmentations, which I will get into after that. However, you can also get you can get a bunch of stats. This is what I'm trying to say. Now on to the type buff gears, which are Esper, Grappler, Duelist, and High Tech. You can get crit rate, block rate, hit percentage, which allows you to hit your dot and stuff more often. If it has a percentage on if it's going to hit, then that will affect that. Resistance, attack, HP, defense, red defense, or damage reduction. You can get basically all the main ones, and then also augments. Now these are the reflect augment, which if you have a reflect buff, specialized or not, it will reflect an additional 8 to 48% of attack damage as extra damage. So your reflect is going to be higher on characters with higher attack. Can't really say that that's ever been useful, except for maybe during Alloy Plus and I guess DSK sometimes, but pretty good still. Then there's Berserk Augmentation. When in Berserk state, receive an 18% attack buff before your action. This also works with Specialized Berserk that is given by Alloy Awakening 2, UR King, and SSR Plus Garyu, and all other Berserk. Block Augmentation, which heals you for a certain percentage of the damage received by a block, or reduced by block. Now, this just happens when you block, so not really crazy. Normal Attack Augmentation, which will deal a certain amount of extra damage while using your basic attack, which is this one. The one that's always like 120, 150%. Yep. What am I on? Okay. And then there is Critical Augmentation. Deals additional damage equal to a certain percent of the increase in damage from dealing a critical damage. This is great for characters like Metal Bat. You are Metal Bat specifically. You are Fubuki. Basically any character that can crit, or any character that's super important, like you are DSK if you have him. You are King can also function like that, I guess, for at least for other characters. I guess Drive Knight maybe too. Then there's the Tenacity Augmentation. When taking damage while having shields, heal back a certain percentage of the damage done to your shield. This is great for if you are still using Banpu Core, or if you're using Child Emperor Core. That actually can work. You are Child Emperor, not normal Child Emperor. It won't work with him. But you can use that on Tank the Master or other characters that have tenacity. Burn Augmentation. When burn, or I believe also specialized burn, deal damage, this unit will deal extra splash damage of a certain percent of the burn damage dealt to surrounding units. This is great for Genos. Also for G4, Hellfire. Any character that does burn or specialized burn, super good for them. And internal injury augmentation, similar to burn. Internal injury damage will splash to surrounding units or surrounding enemies for a certain percent of the internal injury damage. Great for your Siryu. Now, what's very important is the resetting. Now, resetting costs originally without... let me find a character that I can reset. So, the first reset here costs 54 and 30 if you do not want 100% of your materials back. Second reset costs 75 if you don't want 100% and 135 if you want all your materials. Is there any other characters? Oh yeah, this one. Third reset takes 150 if you don't want all your materials and 270 if you do. And the next one takes 300 if you don't want the materials and 540 if you do want the materials. So keep that in mind. Very important because that costs a lot of gems. Yeah, so that's generally buff gears for orange. Super important. You can also use locks to keep stats. If I can find a character that has stats I want to lock. Now, it will cost 2 and then 6 to lock 2 stats. Now, this would be a good thing to do here, but you don't need to. It's not important. But if you want to get maybe 3 attack bonuses, say, or 3 HP bonuses, say on like DK here, then you can lock 2 of these HP bonuses and pray you get a 3rd. Speaking of which, they actually max out on 3 of those percentages. So if I were to get 3 HP percentages on here, I wouldn't be able to get a 4th. However, I could get 2 flat HPs if I wanted that, which is what's also known as a perfect buff gear. So do you keep that in mind? Star Ascension cards, using them on this kind of thing will take 2. Then I believe goes 2, and then 4, and then 8, then I believe 16, then 24, then 32. And then that it was going to get you to 5-star. So yeah, same as gear. Now, next up is going to be red buff gears. So let's get right into that. Red buff gears were introduced when they added Hell mode to Conqueror's Challenge, which you can also get normal buff gears from, by the way. However, while I can't show you the entire thing here, which, because it's not Sunday and it's not all open, but if I press enter, you will see I get these materials or these, which, God, if you run out of these, you're just kind of screwed. But, so this has a total of like 15 stages, I believe, and each increases in level. Now, it's very important that you do these because you get an ever-increasing amount of these materials, and these ones are especially very important for what I'll show you later. However, these basically just change color for the different types of buff gears, faction, level, and type. So these are level, which are going to be used on the really big-looking panel thingies, so we'll get right into that. So you want to make a red buff gear. Now, this is how you do it. You take any of these. This is type, this is this is type, this is level, this is faction. You press enhance, you go to advance, and you use the materials listed. For example, level, which takes the purple ones and these boxes. And these are super easy to get, by the way. Not as hard as normal red gears, but you take these materials, you take 100,000 coins, and you press advance. And once you do that, it will give you stats and unlock purification training. Now, purification training is this. Also, by the way, Ascension does stay between these two, so you don't gotta reset after, or to try to keep your stuff. So, purification. Now, you use these materials, this material. Now, this also changes the color for other things. Hold on, if I advance this, which sucks that is deaf, but this one uses yellow ones, and this one uses the red ones. So, these all come from different bosses. I believe Boros gives the red ones, Grey Boss gives the type, and Melzargard gives these ones. So, very important. But, so, you can, for the stats you can get from this, specifically making the red buff gear, is on level here. You can get attack bonus, defense bonus, HP bonus, damage rate, and damage free. On the type, you can get attack bonus, defense bonus, HP bonus, crit resistance rate, and block damage and reflect. And on the faction buff gear, you can get attack bonus, a defense bonus, HP bonus, crit, block rate, crit damage, and speed. Speed is also very important if you're trying to be a whale, so keep that in mind. Very expensive. So, another thing to keep in mind here is that to refine or to increase the stats you get on these to start with, as you can see, refine effect. To do that, you need to use these purple buff or purple star center card thingies. So yeah, good luck. But yeah, so on the purification, you can get basically any stat you generally need. For example, you can get attack or flat defense, HP, attack bonus up to 10%, defense bonus up to 10%, HP bonus up to 10%, hit bonus on up to 10%, and resistance up to 10%. On type, you can get flat attack, flat defense, flat HP, flat attack or attack bonus up to 10%, defense bonus up to 10%, HP bonus up to 10%, faction damage increase up to 10%, and faction damage reduction, which is faction damage free, up to 10%. On level buff gears, you can get a flat attack increase, defense increase, HP increase, attack bonus also up to 10%. All the bonuses are up to 10%. Defense, HP bonus, arena damage increase up to 10%, and arena damage free or arena damage reduction up to 10%. Now, these are very important because you need the stats, because they give you stats. As you can see, increase, big stat. Big stat. See, that one's HP. These do affect your gear, so this actually does massively increase the amount of stats your character will have. So, yeah, super nice. Also, lots of stats. Yeah. Also, if you'd like to say, if we have this effect for whatever reason you want to transfer this onto some other buff gear, or you want to transfer a different stat onto this buff gear, you can take this one and you can transfer. However, you need this. No ways to obtain is correct because you only have to spend for it. I've never seen an event give this without spending, so maybe one day they'll make it okay, but they have not done that. So now, when it comes to these stats, you can also lock them. So I'm going to go to a character that I have stats for. Now, for example, if you wanted to lock all 4, just to get a higher percentage, you need 10. Lock 3, you need 7. Lock 2, you need 3. And to lock 1, you need only 1 lock. Another important thing is if you want to change the stat on that buff gear, specifically the refine effect, you can go to clarify and use these horrible little pens that I apparently have one of. Then I'm going to gamble really quickly to see if I'll get speed on Zombie Man. So you can use these little pens, clarify. I did not get speed. You can abandon or just take the effect. I'm going to abandon it because fuck you, game. And so I don't know where I got that actually, but sad that I didn't get the stat I wanted. So you can use that to change this effect, which is the refine effect. So unfortunately, I've not been that lucky, but if you do get lucky, just give me, please. Please. Also, this all unlocks once you reach level 85, I believe. So super important. Actually, it might be level 90. I think I'm just off. I think it's level 90. Yeah. So that is an entire guide essentially on how to use and work with buff gears. Wow, this video can be a lot longer than I had intended. However, super important stuff. My Genos, or my Drive Knight here, would not be anywhere near as powerful as he is without them. As you can see, he was at 45.7 before I took these off, and now he is 15 million lower. So each one of these is going to give a very large amount of stats. That one gave 6.3 million, so very important. Yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoyed today's One Punch Man the Strongest video. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Discord server in the description down below. If you'd like to support me, please share the channel around or subscribe. Super means a lot to me. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please make sure to comment and let me know what else you'd like to see. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!